Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Nessa, and tonight or today or afternoon, whenever you're watching this, I am looking at my time at Evershine yet again. So the bios for the romanceable NPCs that the Kickstarter backers could vote on is out. So I'm very excited to go through them and kind of see if my hunches on what they did was correct or totally off base, and then consider who I want to vote for. So I did back the project. I have a lot of confidence that Pathia Games can deliver due to how much I love Sandrock. And if you're still up in the air about deciding, you haven't seen my other video yet, I'll link it in the description or on the end screen. And then also you can just check out their Kickstarter yourself. If you want to wait until the full release, that is also fine and totally acceptable to do, because everyone knows that, Kickstarter projects don't always come to fruition. So that I totally get as well. But anyways, let's go ahead and look at these bachelors and bachelorettes and get to know a little bit more about them before we make our choice. So here are all the bachelor and bachelorettes that we are going to be voting on. Definitely only one bachelor and one bachelorette will be picked. However, they all look like they have a ton of personalities, so I'm really excited to see what they have to say about themselves or what their backstory is. So first up on our list is Atticus. So Atticus's wife died of childbirth many years ago, leaving him to take care of his children, Jasper and Garnett, as well as her crazy father, Idaho. Although life on the frontier has been hard for him, he did his best for his family and never once complained. Now that his children are all grown up, he's trying to adjust to a new phase of his life. So this is really interesting, actually, because I don't think we get a lot of older bachelors in games. We actually get a lot of more younger characters, and like Atticus's backstory is already like totally wild to me, because I don't think there are a lot of games where you can romance a widow, especially one that has children that are grown already. So that is really interesting to me that this is a potential option. So next on the list is Kang. Kang is from Hidewind, is a young and ambitious builder. His dream is to win a build-off against the builder of the decade in Sandrock. That's probably me. But after suffering a humiliating build-off defeat against the builder in Portia, that was also me, and being told to buzz off and never waste my time again, Kang is looking to find a place to train. Okay, well, yeah, maybe it wasn't me, because I wouldn't tell anybody to buzz off and never waste my time again. Oh, wow. But anyways, Kang is the builder, which, okay, now you definitely can tell, because in the other photo, so if we look back at all the bachelors, you can't really see. I thought he was a postal person, not a builder. But in this like full body shot, it is so obvious because he's holding a wrench. Okay, he's holding a wrench. He's totally got that builder look. Okay, actually, when I said that, I was thinking he kind of looks like a car mechanic. So I don't think I would have actually gone builder just by looking at his full body either. But okay, so he's the builder. So this time, I'm not a builder. I'm, the governor or whatever. But one of the romance, options, possibilities is a builder. So that's cool. So this is Rudy. Rudy used to be a successful entrepreneur in Atara. He had the world in the palm of his hand. But after a series of unfortunate events, he has lost everything. Now he doesn't know what to do with himself. Maybe he should just stop trying. Okay, well, his bio is pretty sad. So when I first saw Rudy, I was thinking he was, a professor of some sorts, just because of, the tan, kind of brown jacket and the bow tie and the glasses. So I totally stereotyped him, I put him in a box right away. But he was an entrepreneur. So I'm wondering what happened to him, what his series of unfortunate events were. And it sounds like he's going to be very melancholy, maybe a little bit depressed with low self-esteem. So I guess we'll see how that plays out if he does get picked to be the Bachelor. So this is Steph. Steph was a Duvo soldier arrested during a daring operation in the Alliance. After a prison swap deal was reached with Duvo, Steph was to be shipped back to the Duvos border with another group of Duvos soldiers, but somehow he ended up alone in northern Eufaula. Okay, so he is a defector, and he is trying to start new life, I guess in this settlement something. Maybe he has some secrets that he doesn't really want to tell people. Maybe he just wants to be left alone. Who knows? Who knows what his story could be, but it really sounds like a lot of interesting things will happen if he does become the Bachelor. And this here is Shin. Shin is a skilled tailor with an eye for the finer things. His sharp mind ensures he always comes out on top against would-be hagglers. People say he's been living alone in the mountains for decades. Waiting for what? Or is it for whom? Oh, is that whom, me? I don't know. But okay, so I totally thought Shin was reminiscent of Dr. Fang, and he kind of has that personality because it says he's been living alone in the mountains. Does he really talk to anybody, living alone in the mountains for that long? I don't think so. I don't think he would, but who knows? Maybe like when you actually meet him, he's a chatterbox. But that's super cool. He's a tailor. I'm wondering if his clothes are really like super awesome looking because he lives up in the mountains and maybe you have to find him. I don't know, but that's interesting to me. So I've noticed that we haven't gotten Wyland's bio, so I'm not sure if that was just a mistake and they didn't send it, or if he's being super mysterious and maybe has a really cool bio that they're gonna share later. So if they do share his bio, then I'll make a little video about him, but at this point I don't know enough about him to really cast my vote for him, so I do apologize, Wyland, but as for this discussion, I can't choose you because I really don't know anything about you. So here we are getting into the Bachelorette. So this is Baraka. So this is Baraka's an engineer from Lucian that works for Musa, the richest man in the Free Cities. She's always cool under pressure and resourceful, but after a regrettable accident, she began to have self-doubts. Musa sent her out here to cool her head. So, okay, so I was thinking that she might have been like a scientist or, a doctor or something, but I guess this is what the engineers wear, So she looks super posh, like already she has that cool personality vibe that I'm getting. So I'm wondering how that's gonna come out, especially because she has a little bit of that self-doubt. I can kind of see her being a little bit like Heidi, who's like super capable, but also a little bit, self-doubting her own abilities. But maybe her storyline will revolve around, like getting that confidence to, put this accident behind her and move forward. And this here's Garnett. So Garnett is Atticus's daughter? So, okay, let me read her bio first. I have thoughts, but let me read her bio. So Garnett's the girl that loves plants and animals. It's her dream to go to Highwind to study, but because her family doesn't have a lot of money and her pa's working so hard, she chose to help around the house and watch over her amnesiac grandpa. Okay, wow. So my first thought when I thought about Garnett, I was like, wait, isn't that Atticus's daughter? Wow, you can choose Atticus and Garnett, because you can choose one bachelor and one bachelorette. So technically, you can date the dad and the kid. Okay, so you could technically do that if you wanted to like see, or I don't know, like really delve into this family's story. I really feel like, she's gonna be more down to earth and really nurturing because she likes plants and animals. That already gives me that clue, but who knows? I mean, I want to see what her personality is like when it comes out, what her conflict is. Maybe it's just like, like she cares too much and she needs to put aside some of that so she can chase her own dreams. Okay, so this is Hua. Hua was put into the Northern Rangers as a medic by her father as a way to quickly gain political status. While she's very talented at almost everything she does, she hated being in the military. One day she found out her former classmate, became governor. Okay, so you have a relationship with Ha already established. Hua? I think it's Hua. Basically, she's really good at her job at being a medic, but she hates it, and she hates the military, but she is in the military. I wonder what that's gonna look like for her story, because it seems like, her dad wanted her to be a medic in the military, and she is just like, ugh, even though I'm really good at this, I don't know, maybe I wanted to be an artist or something. But anyways, this is also cool, because, like, she's like your childhood classmate. I don't know if they went to like college or or something. I don't know if the Free Alliance has that, but maybe, or maybe, you know, you met her in elementary school. So depending on when you met her, then that will strengthen the relationship a bit more, in my opinion. I mean, if you just recently met her, then maybe it's like, oh, hey, it's you again, versus like, oh, hey, you're the girl that was eating glue, you know, while I was trying to study on the Day of Calamity or something. So this is Inez, and Inez used to be a bright-eyed reporter working for the Tara Times. After spending the last 2 years covering the Orzu situation on location, where she saw countless suffering and destruction, her eyes lost their shine. Now she's been reassigned to cover the North Development Project. Okay, so she is kind of like what Ernest was in Sandrock, but instead of being a novelist, she is a reporter, and I'm assuming she's gonna be tackling all of, you know, the major events that happen in the settlement. I mean, I really like her design. I knew she was gonna be some sort of like professional working woman. I wasn't really thinking reporter, but I mean, you know, she's wearing her sneakers, she's ready to go. I can see that. Interesting to see, you know, like how her past affects her, you know, in the present, because in the settlement, and, you know, based on the bios that I have read so far, it seems like everybody has a little bit of, you know, like heartache and kind of trauma or like bad things that have happened to them in the past. So they're coming here to kind of get away from it. And here's Madeline. So Madeline has worked hard all her life in the trade business. She has always wanted to find love, but never had the time for it. And she's resigned to that fact. Now she's helping Director Gotti by expanding her trade networks to the border for the North Development Project. Okay, so Madeline is, I thought she was going to be a doctor or, you know, researcher or something from the top view. But now, you know, like just seeing her work pants, she's just all business. You know, she definitely works in an office, and she is just trying to, you know, do some of the administration work for expanding the trade networks for the development. So I can probably just see her as being a little standoffish in the beginning, because she ain't got time for love, you know. She gave up on that a long time ago. But maybe like as you get to know her more, then she starts to let down her walls and maybe get a little bit more hopeful that this could be something. And lastly, this is Luca. So Luca's from Hidewind. She's a cheerful, witty, and wherever she goes, she lights up the room and leaves behind the smell of sweet flowers. But one day, her pa told her she's been arranged to marry with the heir of a popular restaurant in Walnut Grove for the good of both families, so she ran away. Okay, so I pegged her as someone who was, you know, kind of more high-class aristocratic, because she does remind me of Gus a lot, and just, you know, like she's escaping an arranged marriage, so she's here to kind of try to live her own life and be her own person. So that's pretty cool too, because, you know, it sounds like she's a really charismatic person, and hopefully, you know, her personality is really likable and shines through, and that we can figure out a little bit more about her story and why she decided that she didn't want to be in this arranged marriage. So that is all the Bachelor and Bachelorettes that we got the bios for. In terms of the bachelors, I'm actually really curious about Atticus's story, not because I would personally go after him, but because it does add kind of something that we haven't seen before, you know, in a game. And not saying that it's never been done before, but just saying that it's pretty rare to have a situation where you have an available bachelor with children already grown. He's a widow, and he's just trying to make a new life for himself and find love again. So that's a really cool story, I think. Personally, I don't know. Depending on Kang's personality, I might go after him. I also want to know Steph's story. I don't know if all these romanceable NPCs will still be in the game, but just not all of them are romanceable. So if they are, then that's great, because it really would be a shame if they wrote such interesting bios for all of them and then they decided not to add them into the game. It would be really great just to be able to see all these characters anyways. Like, if I could just see Atticus, even though I can't romance him, then I think that would be totally cool too. So my vote is for Atticus, even though I really think that, me personally, I'll probably go for Kang. But also there's like the other bachelors that I don't know anything about. Like, I don't know anything about Wyland or Avery or Ragnar, I think his name is. So until I get more information about them, then I think that would kind of manipulate my choice a little bit more. And as for the Bachelorettes, I mean, I really like all of them. They're kind of a little bit more similar in a way than the Bachelors, in my opinion. But I really like that they're all kind of coming here to escape something. I'm actually very curious about Luca's story, about why she ran away from the arranged marriage. I really think that I would be interested in helping Berica get her self-esteem, self-worth back so she can follow her dreams. Same with Hua. I feel like Hua she's just doing what her dad wants her to do, and she's good at it, so she continues. She's comfortable where she's at, but maybe with our help she can break free of that and do what she wants. I don't really care who they add in the game, actually, because I'm sure whoever they are, I'd give them a fair shake anytime. They added Inez and Rudy into the game, I would still, like, you know, see what their story is like, because as Pathia Games has said, they are going to make the romanceable storylines more fleshed out, and everyone's gonna feel very satisfying, as they said, right? So I am looking forward to having kind of a more in-depth story for the romances and seeing where that goes. Even though I didn't really choose, I kind of chose, not really. What do you think? Would you choose? You know, have you chosen? Have you backed the game and you already know who you want to be in the game as a romanceable NPC? Is there anyone you want more information on? For me personally, it's Wylan, because I don't know anything about him right now. Let me know if you like what I do. Please like, subscribe. It really helps me out. It lets me know that you want more of this content, so I'll keep making more. Until next time, I've been Nessa. Take care. Thank you. Bye.